Not only will we have the strongest economy on earth, we're also going to have the strongest borders on earth. And last month, did you see the number? 0 people crossed our border. 0 illegal people. And that's after Joe Biden let 21 million people. We're getting them out at record numbers, and we have an obligation to, and we're doing it.
President Trump on July 4th, and America's border security is getting a boost thanks to President Trump's big, beautiful bill. Hi, everyone. I'm Joe Concha, along with Joey Jones, Kaylee McKee-White, and Arthel Neville, and this is the Big Weekend Show. ICE is kicking into high gear, receiving an historic $45 billion with a B, which will be used to double the nation's detention capacity. But they're getting no help from Democrats. Instead, the left is demonizing our brave immigration agents. Listen.
What is deranged and cruel and outrageous is that they're wearing masks, they're in plain clothes, they are coming and kidnapping and disappearing people on the streets of the United States. That, to me, is what is so outrageous. It's unconstitutional, it's illegal, and it is absolutely terrorizing people.
It's actually law enforcement officers who are being terrorized. Assaults on ICE agents are up, get this, 690%, according to the Department of Homeland Security. Multiple anti-ICE activists were arrested in Los Angeles on July 4th as protesters clashed with police, as you see there. While in North Texas, a police officer was shot outside of an ICE detention center on Friday. Several suspects have been arrested. Thankfully, the officer has been released from the hospital. Meanwhile, the newest ICE detention center, Alligator Alcatraz, is open for business in the Florida Everglades. And 200 Marines are heading to Florida to support immigration enforcement. So joining us tonight for our big close-up is acting ICE Director Todd Lyons. Todd, thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. So in addition to calling ICE agents terrorists, Congresswoman Jayapal is encouraging left-wing activists to obstruct ICE agents from doing their job. Watch.
Some of the most inspiring things have been when people encircle courtrooms and refuse to allow ICE agents in. There are all kinds of nonviolent resistance tactics that we have to use.
So you hear that. What's your message to the Congresswoman and other Democrats who are encouraging this kind of lawlessness, such as those involved in the creation of the ICE Block app?
You know, it's you'd almost find it funny if it wasn't true, right? It's really disgusting that an elected official would go ahead and advocate for obstructing law enforcement, calling ICE agents and officers terrorists. It's really frustrating for us is because we daily are out there arresting known suspected terrorists. We know what it's like to go against terrorist organizations. We do so with the Homeland Security Task Force. We go against all these new designated terrorist organizations and cartels. And what the Congresswoman's doing there is she's just stoking the fire and she's just stoking this flame that ICE is in the wrong, that we are out there terrorizing people, like she says, which is the farthest from the truth. The brave men and women of ICE are out there every day doing their job. And like you showed, almost 700% increase in assaults on my officers and agents. It's unreal.
Well, Todd, Democrats are also outraged over Alligator Alcatraz, even suggesting it's going to cause illegal immigrants to die. Watch this.
This is a situation in which they want to bleach America. And what they're doing in the Everglades on incredibly sensitive land, environmentally sensitive land, they are violating sacred tribal lands. You see the running theme and thread through what I'm sharing with you? They are creating policy that is going to cause people's deaths.
Well, Todd, yesterday evening, we laid out the very high standards that ICE and federal immigration officials are expected to abide by at this facility, including accommodating dietary restrictions for illegal immigrants. Explain to our audience what the real goal of this detention center is.
You know, I'm happy you brought that up because we do have the highest detention standards out of any other prison system here in the United States. ICE standards are the highest. And this new facility is a great one. And what it's doing for us is ICE, it doesn't detain punitively. We detain to remove people. So we don't want to have people in custody. We wanted to have a facility down there in Florida that we had access to a flight line, that people can come in. They have the option to self-deport if they want, so they don't have to stay in custody. But if they do remain in custody and they are ordered deported, to get them out of the country humanely and quickly. That's what we want. We don't want to keep people detained because the costs are extremely high. And like I said, our detention standards are extremely high. So we want to get these people back to their home countries safely and humanely after they're ordered deported.
Acting Director, we saw the riots in L.A. and what was happening there. We see that assaults are on the rise against ICE agents. When we're looking at this, at the operations going on, is it deterring them at all? Is it something that they feel more afraid for their lives to go out and do their job? Is there something nefarious at foot, or is this just a PR campaign? No,
officers and agents do go out every day and put their lives on the line. The morale's never been higher within ICE. We have a secretary now that has our back. We have a president that's out there allowing us to do our law enforcement mission. But it's a scary number, Joey, to say, you have 700% increase in assaults on officers. That's what keeps me up at night. And I think the men and women of ICE, they are nervous, but they're brave. They're quality law enforcement officers and agents, and they go out there every day to do their job. So I think we're going to see more increased violence, but you're also going to see more increase in prosecutions. You're going to see better tactics used by us to identify these groups that are targeting our law enforcement officers, and we're going to see better cooperation with the Department of Justice to ensure that those that do harm ICE agents are properly handled.
So if ICE is already arresting an average of 6,000 illegal immigrants each week, how much do you expect this to increase after the bill funding goes into full effect?
Well, I think we'll see an increase because we've always been understaffed. The last administration has pretty much shrunk our ranks down dramatically. Now we're having the chance to build it up again. Our infrastructure is going to be huge in the fact that we're going to bring on 10,000 new officers and agents, which is really going to help us because for the longest time, while we're a viable law enforcement agency, we were just shrunken in numbers. So now we're going to have the chance to build the ranks back up. Not only officers and agents, but our crucial support staff and our attorneys that do ensure that these illegal immigrants that we are processing are receiving their due process.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons, thank you for joining us on this summer Sunday night. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, guys and gals, a lot to absorb here as far as the assaults on ICE agents, for example. I mean, nearly up 700%. That's just incredible. From a political perspective, Joey, what we're seeing right now from ICE is trying to deport those who are here illegally who have committed violent crimes. That means gang members, that means murderers, that means child molesters, that means rapists. If you're the Democrats, how could you possibly be opposing this when most Americans, like 95%, would say, yes, of course these people should not be in the country who entered here illegally? I think the Trump campaign painted the Trump administration into a little bit of a corner, making the campaign promise, which he probably intended full-heartedly, to only go or to first go after the bad people. But you go after a bad person who has a rap sheet, and there are 3 people with that person who don't have a rap sheet, but they're also illegal. You don't just let them go. I mean, you've inadvertently captured 3 people that shouldn't be in this country. And so I think that's part of the messaging problem. I think that President Trump both said, hey, go after the bad guys first, but also said, hey, get the numbers up. And then you let the people that work for you figure out how to do that. And it's been rocky a little bit. But at the end of the day, illegal immigration isn't a victimless crime. So messaging comes down to, for me, it's messaging and telling people, listen, maybe you don't say only the worst of the worst to begin with, because it puts you in a corner you can't hardly get out of. That's a good point. And Arthel, as far as Democrats making the argument that these folks deserve due process, is that having an effect where there are making some headway, where there are some Americans saying, well, yeah, they were here illegal and yeah, they committed crimes, but in the end, we do have a court system and they should get their day in court before they're just expelled from the country?
Well, I'll go back to the assaults on the ICE agents and how it's up by, what did you say, 750%?
Yeah, 690.
Listen, and I get that with the ICE agents out there working to do their job, they've been ordered to do so. And I'm not at all suggesting that it's an easy job to do. But as far as the assaults being on the rise, I mean, I was in Los Angeles watching the local news very closely. And, when you see someone coming at you and you don't know who they are and they're running after you, it is human nature. If you come right now, just and you start grabbing me, I'm going to flail. I'm going to lose that battle. I'm going to hit at you. Yeah. So to say that I'm intentionally assaulting an ICE agent is would be wrong, because that's not what my intentions are. I'm protecting myself. So, I talked about this in the last hour. I think everything is in the approach. And maybe if they can find a better way to get this job done. I think people do agree that we don't want people coming into our country without following the rules and getting here the right way. But the folks who are here, there are some people who, and I'm not giving it a pass by any means, but I'm just saying, all of these people, the woman who's selling fruit on the corner or selling flowers, for her to have guys coming at her, and there's some women I know coming at her, with masks on, et cetera, it's frightening. So people, it's human nature to react when you are, pardon me, against the wall. So I just feel that if there's a way to execute this a little bit better, I think that would be helpful all around.
And Kelly, the mask argument is, we hear from Democrats, it's like, well, why are they wearing masks? Why are they hiding their faces? And what ICE will tell you, what any official will tell you, is that the masks are on in order to protect these folks, because otherwise they would be doxxed, their families would be doxxed, and we can't show who they are, because obviously they'll be targets on social media in terms of, there's an ICE agent, here's where they live, go after them.
Right, and yesterday we covered the ICE Block app that intentionally does target ICE officers by posting where their locations are at when people, claim to see a raid. I give it 3 days before we see the next group of congressional Democrats storm Alligator Alcatraz trying to get arrested, because they are absolutely encouraging this. And, I can't blame them for it, because I think of where we started back in 2016 when Trump first made immigration a key part of the Republican agenda. We had about a 240-seat House majority at that time, and he had to fight tooth and nail for just $5 billion in funding for his wall. You fast forward to today, he got $46 billion for the wall, with just 218 votes in the Republican Party in the House, with an additional, I think it was $140 billion total for immigration enforcement. The party has changed so dramatically on this issue, and it's sending Democrats into a spiral, because they realize that they're losing so badly on this issue, and they're never going to be able to gain ground on it again.
And the irony is that they're losing more Black and Latino voters who are here legally, because obviously those who entered the country illegally can work cheaper, therefore taking their jobs. So unintended consequences in this situation. Unfortunately, we do have to go. Great discussion, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.